Hi guys, this is Namcraft and welcome to the Season Starcraft English commentary. I'm here with you to witness the end of the beginning of the end of the beginning and maybe of another end here. This is gonna be Bisu versus Hero. So it looks like Jaedong has lost in his encounter, and it's going to be Bisu versus Hero for the final ticket to get out of this group here. Very sad that Jaedong has to say goodbye to us all, but of course I think Hero is better deserved in that encounter. But is he better deserved in the PvZ encounter? Would he have a chance to win against Bisu? Because Jaedong did not. So let me think about that and let me just share my thought. First of all, let's take a look at this map information. The map is gonna be Dominator, the first map we're gonna be playing, and after this map we're gonna be having Deja Vu and Pantheon. So let's take a look at how these maps play out in terms of win rates for PvZ. So here are the map stats for Protoss player. First of all, Dominator is slightly a Zerg map, 47%. And then after that, what did we say I have? We're going to be having Deja Vu and Pantheon, right? So Deja Vu is a Protoss map, 53.8%. That is possibly a Bisu picked. And finally, we're going to be having Pantheon, and that map is very balanced. So very balanced pick for these two players. And on this map, I think Hero need to win. If Hero doesn't win here, he's going to have a slight difficulty against his opponent in the next part of the game. So anyways, that's what we have ahead of us here. Let us quickly check other stats. So first of all, let's take a look at the Edo score once again, just to confirm where these guys are standing right out as of today. And this is what we see. Bisu and Hero are, eye to eye, neck to neck, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, and bone to bone on the Edo board. Hero is on number 3 and Bisu is on number 4. Let's take a look at the win rate because it kind of matters. I think for Hero against Protoss is very, very strong, 64%. Bisu versus Zerg, 63%. What freaking insanity! These guys are so evenly matched here. This group is definitely, a testament to what a group of death could possibly be. But anyways, Hero located on the other side, the left side of the map. This is Dominator. Once again, he's taking the second hatchery, very far from his home. 6 Zerlings going to be coming out. Bisu's built a pylon and a forge. The forge is slightly back, so he will have a chance to just wedge in a cannon right between the pylon and the forge, and that will cover for the okay, looks like a fake there slightly for Hero. He's gonna be making only a pair of Zergling. And I think Bisu is possibly expecting that he's gonna be making just a single cannon. I think he's not yet even put on a cannon, or maybe he did. Maybe he will do now. I don't know. Looks like he's gonna be putting on a gateway. Looks like the Zerlings are returning. So Hero, without vision of Bisu's expansion, has opted to go back and chase the probe instead of going out there. That means that he's gonna try to go for something cheesy in his main. This map is reverse ram, so the moment I don't know how it works. I guess it's reverse ram, so it doesn't mean anything. But I was gonna say if it's normal ramped, then the moment you get out, you cannot get back in easily because I don't know, going uphill is going to be a little bit harder than going downhill, right? Slightly, I don't know, or maybe not, because you have vision. If you go uphill, you don't have vision, so you're going to be slightly kind of disadvantaged in that regards. But anyways, the cannon's complete, the gateway is going to complete, and does Bisu play standard? Bisu tried to play standard in the game against Barracks, and it did not work. And let me see if let us see if Bisu will try something standard here. Just gonna be going by standard courses. He did go for standard sub against Jaedong, and it worked. Anyways, the lair is taken off main base, guys. It's taken at the 3rd base. That is very interesting. Bisu, of course, will move from here and he will move towards the expansion. He will see no Hydrant, he will see no lair, and so he cannot suspect that something that is up at the 3rd base here. Very interesting build that Hero has opted for, and of course Bisu. You know what? I mean, if Hero's gonna be going for the lair, away from his main, he needed to kill that probe. The fact that he doesn't kill the probe means that something or somebody from the Protoss military is going to be able to get there and take a peek a little bit later, and that is going to be a Zealot. The Zealot is going to start to move across the map right now. This is going to be the moment for Hero to start to make more Zerglings, but Bisu, we just need to confirm what is at the 3rd base. He doesn't need to actually do any kind of damage there. He moves across the map, and right now that Zealot is off the vision of any Overlords or Zerglings, so that is going to force Hero to start to make some Zerglings. He looks like the Zealot is retreating, and now the Overlord sees it. You can see that in the screen. Yeah, there exactly. So it looks like now we will know exactly what Hero is thinking. He says, you know what, you don't have any Zealot on the field, so I will stop making any kind of Zerling presence. I need to actually focus on my economy, focus on my tech, and looks like Hero has revealed his lair. I don't understand. If you're gonna go for lair like that, just go ahead and build it in your main, because the game drags on. If you ever lose your 2nd base, you might lose your hive, if that is where your hive is located. I mean, not second base, your third base, because your main base, and then your natural, that is your third base. Anyways, Probe finally dies. We're going to be having the first Corsair coming out now. We're at the 5th minute mark of the game. Bisu is got 39 supply. Hero's got 34. 3 hatcheries from Hero. Things are looking very smart. And Spire coming up. This Spire is not the... This kind of late Spire, but the fact that he was forced to kind of make the third hatchery very far out, I would give the advantage slightly to Bisu here. The Corsair goes out. He's going to try to hunt for the Overlord. Where are they? There's one near the 1 o'clock position. Of course, Bisu doesn't know about it. He's moving randomly in the middle of the map. There's going to be a 4th. Okay, that's going to be a Hydra Dent. So this might be that build that Hero's going to be going for. It's going to be going for 4 Scourges, and he would chase those Corsairs back, and he's going to make mass mutas. Now this map, the reason why it is so favored for Zerg is that the moment you get out there after your natural, you're going to be completely wedged between 2 different directions that the Zerg player could attack against you. You're going to be on high ground, of course, but you're going to be wedged from both sides. You may get surrounded from both sides, and your third base will have no gas. So this is like a very weak version of Polypoid, right? Polypoid is so bad already, but I mean, it's not so bad, but I think for Protoss, the Protoss players would prefer Fighting Spirit, right, in PvZ, just because it's got, I don't know, it's got a ram to defend for your third base. But anyways, this third base where you're gonna be on a low ground and no gas. Polypoid at least is on the high ground. Anyways, we're going to be having Scourge coming out, and Bisu doesn't know about the presence of the Hydra Dent, so this might be a quick victory for Hero. Bisu is not careful here. He's got only a single cannon. If he makes a second cannon, we'll be able to cover the Forge. Looks like a cannon in the main. The Scourges walk right through. This is weird. Maybe that is by design. Maybe Hero wants to show to his enemy that he's made some Scourges and they died. So Bisu's going to double up on the courses or something like that to win the air battle, and that's going to leave his front door kind of open. Looks like the Templar Archive is coming across the map now. So that means any Dark Templar can actually go out because there are no Overlords. So the Overlord's going to start to move back. We can see some Overlords start to move across the map already in position to actually spot any Dark Templar. But of course, in this kind of level of gameplay, Hero is probably thinking about Overlord speed as well. If he's indeed going for what I'm thinking he's going to be going for, he's going to be going for Overlord speed. And then Hydras, mass Hydras, a lot of Hydras getting a mass T, and Bisu of course is unaware. He's on single cannon. Oh my god, he needs to start to make the second cannon now. He started to make a second cannon, so playing blindly. He's playing the same build that he did against Jaedong, but that map is good for Protoss. This map is not. This map is not a single Zealot walk across the map. He sees the Hydras going to try to drive the Hydras back or forward. I'm not so sure exactly what. The second cannon is almost done. The third cannon, the fourth cannon just get planted down. Hydras will stream across the map. The course is getting chased around. What is Bisu doing? He needs to start to do the moving shots, I think. But last time he's going to back up. I think he took 1 hit. No, he took 0 hits, so that's going to be having more cannons getting created. Zealots actually can run away. He's going to try to buy time by attacking and surrounding some Hydras. 1 Hydras, 2 Hydras die. He starts to buy time and run towards the north side to drive the Hydras away from his base as much as possible. Looks like Overlord speed completes, and the attack begins now. Where are the Zealots? The probes need to get pulled here. 1 cannon is falling. We have a Dark Templar, but I think the Overlord is there. There's an Overlord. Looks like 1 Overlord is going to be falling. Where's the second Overlord? Looks like the cannon completes at just the right moment. He's going to try to snipe some Overlord, but that's not going to be unnecessary because there's going to be a lot more Overlords coming up. But at least his Dark Templar move across the map. 1 second Dark Templar is going to back up here. The second Dark Templar will not be useful at all. Looks like the Forge will complete. He needs to make another cannon right where the first cannon has fallen, I think. But now that's going to force Hero to pull some of his Hydras back to just to be aware of that. Dark Templar moving across the map. Looks like the gateway has fallen. We're going to be having the first High Templar. This Forge is within reach of that. Of that group of Hydras, but the second cannon will complete, so I'm going to be seeing how Bisu is going to react. He's going to try to move on the high ground here. There's nothing here. I think there's an Overlord. Looks like the Corsair is going to pull back, and looks like the Overlord is outside of the range, and that Dark Templar is going to work. Heroes reacted. He loses 3 drones, and the Dark Templar is going to escape. So that was a nice, small victory here for Bisu. The question is able to save his Forge. Is able to save his Forge. Looks like he is able to save his Forge. Looks like the rest of the Hydras have backed up here. So that's good because Bisu can actually go out and win the high ground just right outside of his natural. He's got 2 High Templars already. He's got 2 Dark Templars around the map. I think a mistake that Protoss players often make when they go for double Dark Templars is that they don't do enough damage. And they lose the Dark Templars, and when the Hydras come back with Overlord speed, they just die because they don't have enough High Templars. So that's something we need to think about. We're going to be having Robo. Interesting. Another strategy that Hero can try to build and go for on this map is going to be drop, because the main base for the Protoss player is going to be on the low ground. So drop is very, very effective. Anyways, Corsair is going to get chased around a little bit here. We're at the 9 minute and 40 second of game. Bisu's 90 supply. Hero Heroes 77. The game is very close to call. I think Heroes got a slight advantage possibly because of the map. The characteristic of this map is very good for Zerg players. You know, things will stabilize at the moment. Bisu takes the 3rd and the 4th base. If Bisu can actually survive until he gets his 4th base, the game might be a little bit of a different scenario here. But for the time being, oh come on, go for the Overlord. Okay, he sniped for the Overlord. Of course, Bisu is slightly sleeping there. Bisu's IPM has fallen up to 320. If it was 10 years ago when he was in his prime masculinity, he would be, you know, over over 400, maybe 430, 440 APM. But now he's, you know, kind of getting old, you know, and still single, but, you know, old nonetheless. And so his APM has kind of dropped because of his singularity as well. I think he's been using his hands for other means. But anyways, back to this game. What's happening here? A single Overlord is gonna get destroyed, and the drone is spotted. Bisu knows that there's an expansion coming up. This Dark Templar makes itself very useful with 4 kills already, +1 weapons and +1 armor. The Dark Templar will escape. Hydra is gonna try to surround it. Look at that group of Hydras just running around, trying to circle a single Dark Templar in the group. Of course, it's gonna try to hunt for more. So Bisu's been doing very good with the multitasking, just gonna be keeping everything, you know, in order here. And his 6 Corsairs are grouped up perfectly. Look at the perfect, you know, moving together. Okay, looks like some Corsairs gonna have to run around here. He's looking for some kind of open. He's gonna back up, and Bisu start to move across the map with some Zelle, and Hydra is gonna try to attack before his. Oh, just be careful here, Bisu. I mean, I'm completely biased towards Protoss. I apologize for that. But anyways, the game's gonna continue on. Bisu's large amount of ground forces start to move across the map. He's keeping some of his High Templar back in reserve in the main here. Oh my god, the forward Corsair is damaged. Bisu's gonna be careful. He need to. What's happening? Very funny, very funny business. But at the last minute, Bisu keeps all of his forces. The Dark Templar finally dies, and Hero is up to 4 hatcheries. Bisu needs to either attack now or get a 3rd expansion of his own. I think observers are on the field. Do we have any kind of chance to switch into mutualists? I think possibly not, because still 6 Corsairs are roaming around. Bisu's gonna take a base on the low ground, and like I told you, this base is so hard to hold. It's so hard to hold for Protoss against Zerg, and Zerg can do this counter-circular movement. As you can see, a small group of forces move across the map, but that base has not been taken yet. Bisu's not planted down anything except a single pylon, so those Hydras are completely being dead-weighted in the top side of the map here. Bisu's going to attack against the, this position is going to be slightly on the low ground. He's got observers, and of course Storm can work very nicely against forces on the high ground here. It looks like Bisu's going to check the base at 430. This is a better base to take because this base is covered by his ground forces. The attack has commenced here. There's going to be lurkers on the high ground. Bisu's waiting to cast a Storm. Need to pull his Zealot back because Zealot's actually not useful. Hydra's coming from the side, and looks like Hero's gonna try to do a sandwich. He's looking for the angle here. Looks like Bisu's gonna back up. He's gonna be getting ready because he doesn't want to lose his 3rd base as well. He needs to make sure his 3rd base comes online. Looks like Bisu has planted down his Nexus. Behind his Hero has planted down his hatchery as well, but the game is very close. During this time, if Bisu can slip in a Shadow and a Dark Templar inside of Hero's main, it's going to be great, because if you look at the way that the bases have spawned, it's very easy for Bisu to drop, and it's very hard for Hero to drop. And actually, Bisu's fleet of Corsairs is still alive, so any kind of presence of Scourges or Overlords will be completely nullified by the presence of those Corsairs. So there's nothing that shows Hero's vision between his main base and Bisu's 3rd base. It's nothing. It's complete darkness. So if I were Bisu now, I would just advise him to go for drop at this point, or maybe some point in the future. Best is a player who does this kind of move a lot. Anyways, going to be having some small engagement. Dark Templar, excuse me, Lurkers going to be planted on the field. We have observers, so those Dark Templars are those Lurkers are dead weight here. They need to actually spread out and not bunch up together. We're having both players are juggling for position. We're going to be having a small engagement here, and Bisu is slightly badly angled. Surround coming from the other. Observer is nicely played from Bisu. Bisu sees that the army of his enemies moving towards the 3rd base. Would the cannons come online? He's scrambled to get position. We're going to be having Zelle on the high ground, and cannons to support. Zelle need to kind of hold the area. He holds it perfectly. There's going to be just enough forces to hold the area. There's going to be more forces. This cannon's going to get cancelled. Maybe he's going to force cancellation on the cannon. Looks like at the last minute Bisu saves everything, but a huge counter attack from the Zerg player coming from behind. Will it do any kind of damage? I'm not sure, but at least for the time being, this group of Hydra is going to get completely surrounded and smashed to pieces like potatoes. Nice attack on the high ground. Hydra, what are you doing, Bisu? Cast a Storm! Cast a Storm! There's so many Hydras there and so many Lurkers. He got some good Storm to actually trade well, and this group of Hydras are completely melted to butter. This is like what I do when I make scrambled egg in the morning. I just mash everything together and just put some kind of storm on it. The storm being the fire, and it just becomes a breakfast for me. So that's what exactly Bisu is doing. He's making breakfast out of Hero's army. Now Bisu's is 165 supply and Hero's 150, so about 50 supply difference. He needs to play a 4 base. Zerg versus 3 base. Protoss No tech once again for the Zerg player, just like the previous game between Jadong and Bisu. I think Heroes has slightly advantage in this game because of the map characteristic, because the angles are so bad for Protoss. You can see Protoss can easily get scrambled like this into different corners. A nice contact, and this observer is so nicely placed. I mean, Bisu plays the perfect observers. He put them in the right location. What's happening here? There's gonna be some lurkers on the low ground, but because he can storm, he can surround from the other side. We're gonna be having sandwich on sandwich. Look at the mini map. Red converging from the top side, but we're gonna be having blue in the middle of the map here. There's gonna be a huge battle. The rest of the forces from Hero is actually not involved. Bisu gets on high ground. It's gonna be to storm to hydrate from the Hydra with the high templars. We need to actually see the battles from both sides. Looks like Bisu forces are thinning out. There's gonna be some lurkers planted here, but there's actually no value. There's no probe anywhere. Nice storm, and Bisu holds the high ground. This Archon is buying so much time. There's gonna be just a couple of lurkers behind, and Hero has wisdom force, but his size is very good. He's got 141 supply, and Bisu's 145. You need to wait for the next move here. Bisu need to take the third gas as well. Bisu is gonna be having a fourth base on the low ground. Need to actually make a lot of cannons, but it's gonna be the moment for Hero to strike. Hero's got so much supply. He comes across the map, but the angle is terrible. But the attack on the north side is looking very, very good. Actually, Bisu can actually cancel that hatchery. He doesn't actually need to keep the hatchery at all. He's gonna cancel some of the cannon, and he's gonna try to hold his high ground. But Hydra is able to exhaust his enemy's army, but it looks like overwhelming amount of Hydras, and Bisu's got very few forces remaining. He's got some Zealot. He needs to pull the rest of his reserve from the third base. I think he's got so much reserve at the third base. More forces coming out, and Bisu's not paying attention. He's completely being overwhelmed. But if he can hold now, the game might not be over very soon, because Bisu is trading a lot better. He's trading High Templar for Hydras, and Hydras cost a lot more. Yeah, Bisu's third base is delayed. He's delayed, but he finally will take his third gas on the game. It's going to stabilize. We're at the 15, almost 16 minute mark on the game. Bisu's 136 supply. Hero's down to 117. Bisu almost mined on his base, but we're going to be having no tech at all for Hero. Hero is just on very basic tech. Bisu can just hold on and connect his bases. He might have a chance. Do we have a drop? Bisu can actually slip in a shuttle because he's have excess minerals. Remember that Bisu canceled his command center, his nexus, excuse me, so he has extra minerals to work with. He's got 600 and almost 700 minerals. It looks like Bisu is going to move out here. We're going to be having a nice attack from both angles. This might be a trap that Bisu is setting for his enemy, because it's going to be coming from the other side of the map as well. Can Hero breach the southern side? Let's take a look at that. Looks like he's going to be some cannons, but he's going to be not able to hold. I want to see the third base of Bisu. There's a lot of attacks happening there, but it looks like Bisu is able to hold both angles. There's enough cannons to hold. There's only 3 Hydras remaining. The rest of the forces get destroyed, and Bisu is almost ready to actually reinforce with his Zealot and Hydras. It looks like at the last minute the third base held. The third base is held, and Bisu has traded nicely. He's ahead about 30 supply. He will come out. These Lurker Spine are doing so much damage against the Zealot though. Not enough Dragoons. He will clear out the rest of the forces, and Hero forces are actually doing a good job. The Corsair need to actually come back here and actually hunt for those overlords. Bisu also need to make more cannons at the third base. He can actually slip a Dark Templar somewhere or a High Templar drop or something. I mean, Bisu, he has a lot of money. He needs to actually use it. He's gonna try to expand because he got a lot of probes. He's gonna be going for distance mining. This is a dire situation for both the players. I mean, this map is so bad for Protoss. You can see always just being wedged between different angles and always on the low ground, getting surrounded from both sides. And actually, Zerg player has so many options to go for backstabbing, a lot of stuff. Anyways, what is going to be Hero's strategy? He's going to try to attack this fourth base. He's going to force a cancellation on the Nexus. Probes are running. We're going to be having a nice storm. We're going to be attacked from the other side of the map. And Hero's going to be on the low ground. High Templar need to cast a storm. What is he doing? Cast a storm. He's going to cast a storm, but good, beautiful pullback from Hero. Is able to hold nicely. And Hero is ahead of supply, and Bisu doesn't have that much forces to work with. He's got a lot of army, but they're not actually coordinating together. And Bisu is losing a lot of forces left and right. Bisu GG. The first game goes to Hero. If you enjoyed this game, please buy me coffee. The link to that is going to be in the video description. I'll see you in the next match. See you soon. Bye-bye.